Hey, welcome to Rosa Forever. I'm Kyle, and today's video is about wisdom teeth removal recovery tips. Yes, the thumbnail was me yesterday on day one. It's day two now, and the pain that I thought I was gonna be in, I'm actually not, and I believe it's because of some pre and post prep that my wife had done for me, which I'm very grateful for. Also, this band that I'm wearing has helped a lot, which we're going to talk about later in the video.
So on the counter, I have my must-have list of items. And so here I have this coconut milk yogurt alternative. And the reason why I picked this up is because when we were coming from the doctor's office, I stopped at the store really quick to grab this and also to grab a big bag of ice. And they didn't have the brand that I normally use, but this works. And so I picked this up because it has live and active cultures, which you definitely need. So if you zoom in here, you'll see it says live and active cultures. And so I wanted to add that to the list because when you're taking antibiotics, it can cause diarrhea. So when you have your probiotics on hand, that is really good for gut health. So that's something I was thinking about. That's the reason why I also grabbed this kefir as well. And I will show you how I use this kefir. I actually made a smoothie for Kyle's breakfast using this kefir, and I'll show you how to make that smoothie coming up in a clip. So make sure you stick around for that as well. The next thing you definitely want to make sure that you have is apple juice. So you don't have to have apple juice, you can use water, but I use apple juice, especially after surgery. Clear liquids are really good. So you don't want anything that looks like the color of blood. So obviously I got some apple juice. I also have applesauce here because again, you want cold things on your tooth. And so this doesn't have any pieces, and it's just simple, plain, unsweetened applesauce. I also have pineapple here, and so pineapple has been really important. I've been making fresh homemade juice with this pineapple, and I'll also show you coming up how I make that pineapple juice. And so he started drinking this actually before surgery as well. And then we have these Orgain plant-based protein shakes because Kyle obviously normally likes his protein. So we have these protein shakes. I also made sure to get this Vita Coco coconut water because again, it's really hydrating to have the electrolytes from the coconut water. So we had this on hand as well, and then regular water. All right, so let's talk about what else we did to make this process much easier and for him to heal up really fast. So for breakfast, Kyle has a smoothie, and this smoothie takes into consideration his surgery as well as gut health, because when you're taking antibiotics, you have to make sure you protect your gut, because with antibiotics, it can cause diarrhea and things like that. So I'm really very cognizant of that. And so I make sure that his meals all keep that in mind. So we have one frozen banana. You can see it's hard. So I just peeled it when it was fresh and put it in the freezer to freeze. I have almond milk, I have kefir here, and the reason I have kefir again is for the probiotic qualities for good gut health. So if you were to look at the ingredients, you will notice that on the label it will tell you that it has active cultures, live and active cultures, and that's what you're looking for. And then from a protein standpoint, we use this Orgain protein powder, and you can see that it has probiotics in it as well. So we use 2 scoops of this. I use about 4 ounces of this kefir and then 6 ounces of the almond milk. And then all I do is I blend this up into a delicious smoothie, and he has that in the morning with his morning antibiotic and his Motrin. So now that the smoothie is finished blending, all I do is I just pour it in this cup, and he just either drinks it straight from here or he can use a spoon. So you'll see this smoothie is a nice thick consistency, and it's cold. So it's a little bit less thick than a Frosty or a milkshake, and so he enjoys this. And then after he gets this in, then he'll have his morning antibiotic. So this is what it looks like, and actually tastes really good. So if this is something you want to try, definitely make sure you add it to your wisdom teeth removal recovery. So one of the meals that I'll be making for Kyle during his wisdom teeth removal recovery is this soup, because as you know, you're supposed to have soft foods, things that are pureed. And so obviously he's not going to be eating mashed potatoes all the time or having smoothies. So I love to make this soup, and I've made this in another video before when I did a Daniel Fast recipe. But in this soup, I have sweet potato, I have some apples, some celery, I have an onion, which I am going to wash and chop up. And I also have some butternut squash, and then I have coconut milk. And so all of these things I'm going to make in a soup. I'm also going to add some turmeric into the pot and some ground ginger, because again, both of those spices have anti-inflammatory properties. And so Kyle actually really loves this soup, and so it's perfect for when you're recovering from your wisdom teeth removal. So let me just tell you quickly how to do this in case you're interested in making this soup as well. So the first thing that I generally do is that I saute the apples, the celery, and the onion. And once the apples have gotten a nice little crisp on them and the onions become translucent, then I add in my butternut squash as well as my sweet potatoes. And once I do that, I will pour in also some either veggie broth, or you could use chicken broth. It's really up to you, or you could use water. So I pour that in, make sure these are all covered, and I let that cook until the sweet potato and the butternut squash become soft. And then once that becomes soft, all I do is I add my coconut milk in there and all of my spices, and then I just put them in a blender and I puree them together. And if you're interested in seeing how I made that particular soup, I will link the video in the description box for where I did a Daniel Fast video with different soup recipes, and this a version of this soup was the same thing in there. So if you're interested in checking that out, I'll make sure to link that down in the description box. All right, let's see what else we did during Kyle's recovery process. All right, guys, another thing that I do is I make a lot of pineapple juice. So buying the one at the store is going to have a lot of sugar, so you're going to make the homemade version, and I'm showing you how to do that. So here I have a whole pineapple. This is easy to cut. So all you do is when you're peeling this, you're just taking the knife and you're cutting down the sides. And I do that all the way down. Obviously, this is a little different because I'm trying to record versus when I'm just doing it without thinking about recording. So all you're going to do is get rid of the outer portion of that pineapple. And it's much easier than it looks, or you probably assume that it is. And once you get that down, then you just cut the top part off just like that. Then all I'm going to do is just cut it into pieces. Then I will cut off these excess pieces here. Then I'm just going to wash this and chop it up, and then I will blend it with some water. So I'll blend this with about 8 ounces of water, and then I'll show you what the final product looks like. And so this was something that we started with Kyle before he went to surgery. So he was having pineapple, like fresh pineapple pieces, as well as pineapple juice before surgery. Again, I like pineapple because of the properties, right? The enzyme in pineapple, the anti-inflammatory benefits. So we started this a few days before surgery, and now after, we're still also having pineapple. So now I'm just going to get ready to make the juice. So I just wanted to show you guys that I have my pineapple in my blender with my water, and I have a Ninja, but any high-powered blender will work. So you're just going to blend this on high until it gets smooth, and then you'll need a mason jar, a pitcher, and a nut milk bag, or if you don't have a nut milk bag, a cheesecloth will work. I will link all the things that I use in the description box down below, because it makes it much easier to strain the pineapple juice once you have a nut milk bag or a cheesecloth. So all I'm going to do is just blend this on high, and then I'll strain it, and I'll kind of give you a quick look at what my final pineapple juice looks like in a minute. So I just want to quickly show you guys that from that blender, I have these 2 mason jars filled with pineapple juice, and that's generally what the result of this will be. This is just some foam from when I squeeze it out the bag, but this will pretty soon just look like the rest of what's in the bottle. And this is delicious and it works. And this is what I've been giving Kyle throughout his recovery process, and also, like I said, pre-procedure. So this is definitely something that you might want to consider adding as well to your wisdom tooth removal recovery. All right, let's move on to our next tip.
Hey guys, it's Kyle. It's day 3, and unlike I would have thought, I don't really have any pain in my face at all. I think it's really due to the stuff that my wife has been doing, which has been extremely helpful, as you could see through the video. And yeah, I'm just really thankful, guys.
So the band that you see Kyle wearing, the green band, was actually from this particular company, and it's for, anti-nausea. And the reason why this was so helpful for Kyle was because normally when he has anesthesia, he has nausea, and afterwards he's normally throwing up. And so this is the first time that I've seen him not even open any of the medications that he got from the doctor, because he had a prescription for Zofran and he didn't even open it at all. He just wore this band for a couple days and he was fine. And they actually gave this to him at the surgery center, but you can also get this online. The next thing that we did was we made sure that he kept ice on his face. And so we had these Velcro ice bags, and so we would just refill them. So these are the type of bags that are refillable. But if you don't want to purchase an ice bag, an alternative is to get like a Ziploc bag or a plastic bag and put some ice in those bags. And then once you tie up that plastic bag with ice, then if you have some really old socks that are really long, then you can tie them together and tie them around your head where your jaw is, and that will help to keep down the swelling. And so that was what we did as it pertains to the ice. And so all of these tips, Kyle was able to start singing, start talking, and not have any issues with his jaw. And so I think all of these different things that we did were really helpful during his recovery process. And also, we didn't use any of the, narcotic medications. All we did was use the Motrin. And so what I would do was make sure that when he would take his antibiotic, he would also take Motrin. And then we started doing it where he would take the Motrin in the morning with his antibiotics. So he was taking it at 6 a.m. And then we'd skip the Motrin for the next couple doses of the antibiotic. And so we'd then take the Motrin again before he went to bed. And also we definitely made sure that when he was taking these medications that he was having the yogurt again to protect his gut. And so these were just the little strategies that I was helping him with through the process of healing. And so these were our tips. This is what worked for us. We're not saying that you have to do any of these things. We're just sharing what worked for us and what we thought was valuable. So the number one thing that we think was instrumental in Kyle's recovery is prayer. Before Kyle had surgery, we have a prayer line at our church every Tuesday morning at 6 a.m. And I asked everyone if they could pray for Kyle as he went through this procedure. And we know that they were definitely praying for him. We even had someone reach out asking, hey, how's Kyle doing? Checking in after his procedure and letting us know they were praying for him. And so definitely don't leave prayer out. We know that God hears and answers prayer and he's a healer. And so that was definitely instrumental in helping Kyle to heal really fast. And also God giving me the wisdom, the knowledge, and the understanding to know what to do to help Kyle, go through this faster recovery process. So if you enjoyed this video, we ask that you give it a thumbs up, share with your friends, and subscribe for more awesome content just like this. But before you leave, we want to remind you, you're only one prayer away. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Bye. Take care.